General Lee came through this door into this parlor in the McClean house in Appomattox and waited here for Grant to come in and sign the surrender in the parlor. And this young man's going to tell us a little of the history of this room.
Yeah, so this is where the surrender meeting happens on April 9, 1865. After about a week of retreating from Petersburg, this Appomattox is where Grant's army finally gets in front of Lee. So after some battling on the morning of the 9th, where the Confederates at first made a little push to be able to get out of town, they come across about 25,000 Union troops who had marched well through the night to end the war, is what their generals said that they would do. So that afternoon, the two generals meet here. Lee is here first. He doesn't have nearly as far to come. Grant is kind of at the back of the line. So he has to ride up, which is also perhaps part of why he shows up in his muddy riding boots while Lee has had time to change into a formal dress uniform. But they meet here for about an hour and a half. They discuss the Mexican War for about the first half hour, kind of a little catching up, a little getting to know each other, before finally getting down to business. And Grant, at the instruction of Lincoln, really gives the Confederates pretty easy terms. Basically just lay down your weapons and you all can go home. Through discussions here, they'll also be allowed to keep their horses. Officers will be allowed to keep their sidearms. And then the next morning, in a shorter meeting, Grant allows them to get parole passes where they can collect food from the Union forces as well as use Union transportation to get home.
How did they do that? Like trains or?
Yeah, trains was kind of the main transportation that they, had that would be quick and effective. So they could do that and get rations and all of that.
Where's the building that they printed all the passes?
So that is the Clover Hill Tavern,
Okay.
which is also the oldest building in the park. But you can go in there and see the printing presses set up and all of that.
Wow. Well, I appreciate your expertise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it, sir.